Ladies and gentlemen, when last I was streaming 20 minutes ago, I saw people introducing the fact that Warren H was on the live stream. So hopefully we can get Warren H on this live stream via Skype. But as you know, sometimes the internet here in the Philippines is just not so good. And I didn't have a problem with the computer. The men were here for just over an hour this morning, cleaned up every possible scenario, everything that could have gone wrong with the internet. The two men that were here this morning fixed. They checked every wire. It's no rain, no wind outside. They did everything possible. And what I think they just did was I think they just disconnected the internet, because we had no internet, no phone at all for 20 minutes, and then it got caught scratching their nuts on YouTube. And I gotta tell you, unless it was an actual caught scratching to me, if I got caught scratching my nuts on YouTube, there would be people that made countless amounts of videos. Now we have 5, 6, or 7 people who have no content on their channel, who have no videos, who don't even have any subscribers, trolling my account because of their inability to comprehend greatness. So, where are we here? We are back to the comments. We have only one person. If I don't see somebody say none other than the proper way to scratch one's nuts. And there we go. We lost the internet again. Baby. You've been making fun of me for 2 weeks. The algorithms that people are claiming don't exist, when in fact they do exist, as does machine learning. I was going to do a whole live stream on machine learning and algorithms. I even might move over to that topic today, because I think the scratching of the nuts concept has been portrayed as humor to some. Some people say, "Oh, I did that on purpose. I did that on purpose. I just was pulling your chain." No, you wasn't pulling my chain. You just got caught with what you were doing. Probably should not have been done on social media. Otherwise, you would have left that video up. If you were just pulling somebody's chain and it was a comedy routine, between scratching my nuts and not scratching my nuts, I have no problem jumping up on this box. One thing is to make scratch your nuts. Another thing altogether is different things. You got to ask. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. Fixed my internet. They made a countless amount of phone calls this morning to in Globe. I mean, they put a new modem in last week, and they also checked all the wires last week. And 2 weeks before that, they put a new wire, 1,200 foot of wire, from the main road to my house. Not windy. They started properly. And still, we had an internet problem. So I could show you the screenshots, but if I do, it will give out my IP address. The two people from Globe, from the two different departments, between the three of them, and I mean 1 solid hour, they worked on the computer. And there's connection again. It's unstable. It's back. Well, I will. A lot of this, I think, has to do with the amount. Jack Thompson with words of wisdom. How does he work with such a small snorkel? I don't know. I mean, as long as you need a decent sized snorkel. So that's a good question, Jack. Oh God. So the Globe man here sat here, right here, for the better part of 45 to 50 minutes, working with two men in the Globe. I mean, they really did a lot of checking, and I don't know what they changed or where in Globe's system, wherever those people were. I have no idea where they were. They could have been local. Now the internet came on for 1 hour and 50 minutes, but then when it went off, the internet went off and my phone went off. So the technicians, I think, fixed the problem, that they were doing work on the line and disconnected the main, disconnected the line from the main feed, wherever that is. It could be local, and it is the Easter holiday. So I also want to try my live stream, and I'm gonna click on Skype. I did click on Skype, and now my connection went unstable. All right, so now so when I clicked on Skype, there's something is wrong with the internet. I don't know. I guess it was the equivalent of an hour's wages to each one, and they just said no. I said no, it would be, it's not much, but it's something. I'm not going to let them work on Easter Saturday. When I was 25 years old, we used to believe in the Catholic days were presented, and we respected them. So I respect the men for. Yeah, Pedro Rojas Cervantes. Welcome to the machine. Pedro. You had a good one last week too. You are a wordsmith. Oh, what am I missing here? What am I missing here? Oh my God! I think I got it figured out now. The internet. The man who first said that he liked my live streams because of he had dreadlocks and he was all disheveled. He had a rag on, basically had a rag, not the iron rag, but he had basically a rag on. One oh five p.m. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Anyway, Scott Del Fuego, he liked me for the first time when he said, I watched this man's situational awareness go from blogging back to blogging without skipping a beat. I remember that. I'll never forget that. But that was just part of my life. Hello, Canary in the Philippines. Welcome back. Thank you for coming back. Being situational awareness was how I spent my entire life operating heavy equipment. I had to be aware of what was in front of me, what was behind something that I was going to pass, if anything, or who was behind. And I always had to be aware of what was behind me for whenever I turned the machine around or back up. So, plus, when you're operating cranes or running a tugboat or a barge, self-propelled barge, your awareness has to be on everything at all times. You have to scan. So that was just part of my life, and it still is to this day. I'll see something fall on the floor of the in the mall, like about it was a long time ago, but a man dropped money. Now I didn't care how much money it was, but I yelled, "Yo! You know, you dropped your money, pesos, naug." But he did not see that, and I wasn't about to bend over and pick it up. But no one saw it, and like 6 or 7, 8 people walked past it when he did not know that he dropped his own money. I don't know why or how. It fell from between his legs, but I mean, he wasn't even aware, and that happens. It's not like it's a sledgehammer that hits the floor, but 6 or 7 other people walked over it. Why? Because they're window shopping, or their self-awareness of what their surroundings are just minimal at best. So anyway, Tannoy is back. He got the notification. That's why. Okay. Well, I was up. I want to thank you, and I want to ask everybody that's here to no more super chat. Thanks very much. I appreciate it. But we'll just talk about Warren H. or talk about topics that are dear to your heart. Yes, Pedro, it's 12 hours difference between here and at this time of the year, New York City. So the same thing. So I had some notes that I wanted to go through. I hope Warren gets back here. I turned on Skype, and I'm going to turn the cam around and show you that I'm going to go to Skype right now. It's going to happen. Skype signed in, active. Okay, Conway. Salam. Okay, you are gonna piss off. You are gonna piss off that guy. That guy who. Well, you know, he shouldn't be upset because it's April, right? It's April. He has damn near collected as much super chat this month that you just sent in bits and pieces, but every super chat counts. So thank you, Conway. We'll sing the thank you song apropos, and we probably will talk about the throne of knowledge. It will be a topic. John Escape had brought that up just before the internet got cut off. So thank you very much. Conway in the Philippines, baby. All right, so let's look for Warren. Let's see if we get Warren on Skype. No, it's not going to happen, but we can try. Warren, it shows that Warren is off of Skype, and I don't see a message from. I do not see a message on my Yahoo Mail. So I'm going to call Warren right now, and you'll hear it should have already started ringing. Now it's going to ring. So let's see if Warren answers. Okay, we're gonna end Skype. I don't know that the stream is still on, but we're gonna talk about the axioms and the factoids about having small hands and small feet. So that's going to be our topic for the next 30 or 40 minutes. I have some notes and factoids about having small hands and small feet, and the possibilities that exist are freak endless for titles and comedy routines and skits, because let me assure you, if the nuts that were scratched would have been on any one of you YouTubers, any YouTuber out there that got caught scratching his galvanized nuts on a live stream in a pair of whatever that was that he was wearing, any YouTuber out there that got caught scratching their galvanized nuts on YouTube, there would be an endless succession of videos abusing you, your person, your persona, your livelihood, and whether or not you were a good human being. There would be an endless stream of videos. Let's say that Big Kevin somehow didn't have clothes on and he was live streaming. He just had his underwear on. Let's say that happened to Big Kevin. There would be 100 videos inside of a month demeaning Big Kevin for wearing underwear while they were live streaming. Meanwhile, Big Kevin didn't do anything wrong because Big Kevin had an iron rag over his cam. But Big Kevin's iron rag fell off the cam. And that's why the title is Behind the Iron Rag. Can you imagine if Big Kevin had an iron rag over his cam and then the iron rag fell right whilst Big Kevin was in the process of scratching his nuts? Can you imagine the amount of videos and the shame that would be directed towards Big Kevin? It would be endless. It would be ceaseless shame. The man, Big Kevin, would be pretty much reprimanded and someone would demand that Big Kevin goes off of YouTube altogether for the shame of it all. But that's why Big Kevin wears the big pants and doesn't go around scratching his nuts on YouTube. That's why Big Kevin is more respected than the people demanding every possible negative thing happen to Big Kevin. Pepper Challenge. What is... I have no idea. The Pepper Challenger 2. The Pepper Challenger 2. I could look it up, but I'm afraid to ask you what that word means. So best I look it up. Hold on a minute. I can't copy it. I don't know where you're going with that. I'm going to copy it. Just hold. Don't put whatever it is up on the screen. I don't know what it is, but in English, lyrics. Okay. Umthakate. Witch. It's a witch. We have a witch. Yeah, there would be a witch hunt on Big Kevin. It means witch. W-I-T-C-H. Thank you. I heard it in a song. There is a song out there. So if Big Kevin got caught scratched in a pair of... I don't know what that was exactly. I'm not real sure if that was a... I don't know what that was. I don't know. It was a... Certainly didn't look like a pair of boxer shorts to me. Live, baby. Didn't look like boxer. Imagine Big Kevin scratching his nuts on live stream. There would be a couple of bloggers out there that would demean Big Kevin for months. Now, Big Kevin would tell him to screw off. He doesn't really care. But the fact is that there would be people out there demanding that Big Kevin's channel get taken down for a sex act, or that he was doing something somehow illegal for the YouTube rules. But let me tell you something. I mean, sometimes the boys need to be scratched, and that's why we're here, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to teach you how to scratch your boys in public, okay? Everybody knows that the boys sometimes get twisted up, which is completely different than rubbing one off. Scratching and rubbing one off, two different things, okay? Now, the boys sometimes get lifted up, and what you got to do is sometimes you got to handle the boys with kid gloves, and what you got to do sometimes is you got to pull them apart. You could pull them apart like this, pull that way, or you could just scratch the boys on the bottom, and that usually fixes the problem. Scratch over here, scratch over there, scratch here. But anything more than 3 scratches on either boy, that's considered playing with your taffy. That's a different thing altogether. Now, pulling your taffy on YouTube, they have taffy making machines that they pull taffy on all the time. And that's what that reminded me of, a taffy machine, when there was a lot of smushing and smashing going on, but no scratching. So pulling your taffy or making taffy on YouTube is different than scratching your boys. And he does it again. Canoy in the Philippines. Okay, he promises no more. He even after I asked Canoy to stop super chatting me, he did it again. Salamat. I know you did it before, but it just popped up on my screen. It went off and back on. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, we should talk about super chat. GE Northrop super chatted me $315 last month. That money is like in the bank. When Warren figures out a way to get the money for the computer to me, that $315 or $200 of that is going towards the computer, and I have the rest. So thank you. And then again, of course, there was today's super chat, which was a lot. You guys can go over it, but I mean, for me, I'm just a little. YouTube only allow 1,000th of my subscribers to get a notification. So I had a maximum of 24 people before, and I have 20,000 subscribers. So most weeks I get 17 or 18 or 19 people to my super chat, most super chats. So that's 1,000th of my subscriber base. Why? Well, it's not hard to figure out, because of machine learning and or algorithms, which is going to be a topic when I'm sure that this computer is working. I'm going balls deep into the people that have been abusing me about my knowledge of the internet, machine learning, and algorithms. I have it all listed in the show notes. It's 5 pages long, and I don't want to start a balls deep dissertation on algorithms, but I will talk about the throne of knowledge if I have time. So I'm going balls deep on those guys that were breaking my chops that I don't know what algorithms are and or machine learning. I do, and I'll give you one for instance of machine learning and algorithms that you can't deny. Okay, no one will deny it. So most people here have a channel. Now you have searched maybe perhaps my channel, or Big E's channel, or Cheese channel for 6 months to a year, let's say. So now, if you put CAN, well, in the search box at the top, maybe Canoy in the Philippines will appear. If you put the word Big Kevin, or Big E will appear. Okay, here's how the algorithms of YouTube works. So because you searched, like I just searched for that word, that meant witch, umakate, kaki, umahakate, whatever. I just searched for that word. Now, if I go, when I put the word in, when I typed it in, nothing appeared. But now if I just put the first 2 letters of that word in, Google is going to bring me right to that option to click on it. That's an algorithm. Another form of algorithms is if I have a channel for Hoodwinked by an Angel, all the searches I ever did, Google remembers. Okay, so if the first 3 or 4 letters of a word, I put it in there, whatever channel it is, let's say Big Kevin, Big E. CHI just puts one option, Chi, on the screen. CAN puts Canoy on the screen. Okay, so that is an algorithm that it remembers. But I built up another channel that's private right now. And until I get about 200 or 300 videos on that channel, I'm not going to make any of those videos public. On that channel, it's private. No one, I don't use it to comment on because it also has my name on the channel. I don't use it for anything other than to post videos that I'm going to post on YouTube as age-restricted videos. All of them, every one of them. Because I want to have an age-restricted channel. So it's on a separate database, a separate IP address, a separate everything. So on that channel, even though I go on the channel and then I press, let's say I press subscriptions at the top. Well, I only have 4 people that I'm subscribed to. So only the people I'm subscribed to will show up. But on my Hoodwinked by an Angel channel, I'm subscribed to a few thousand people. But not only will their videos show up, but the fact that I watched a Western last night, or actually I watched Detective by Alex Hainsley or Alex Huxley. I forgot the person. The name of the video was a famous writer. But anyway, it was a 2-parter. It was starring Tom Berenger, called Detective. It was a good flick. But being that I watched that, on the sidebar, many detective movies showed up. That's algorithms. And I have a whole 3 pages of proofs that how the algorithms of YouTube work and why they work. And then I have also a page and a half of notes on artificial intelligence and machine learning. So I just want you to know that's coming up in a future live stream. All right. Pepper, the Pepper Challenge. Thanks for the translation, Mr. Fowler. You're welcome. Yeah, I try to answer intelligent questions. If I have time, I answer all the time. The Pepper Challenge. So, yeah, Pepper. The Pepper Challenger 2. You want to read a good book? The Pepper Challenger 2. I read it. I actually, it's one of the few books I took from America to the Philippines. Pepper Challenger says, so I was at work and my coworker is into studying the hidden societies and told me that the Vatican harbored Nazis during World War II. And that's an absolute fact. During World War II, Pope Pius XI was the Pope. And if you remember, or if you go back in history, the major churches for Christianity were not attacked. They were not blown up or bombed. The major churches in Europe, in Italy, even in Germany, were not attacked because Pope Pius XI worked out a deal with the Fuhrer. And actually they worked together towards an agreement. And the name of the book, forget about all the knowledge I have. I could take a week to tell you what's inside the book. The name of the book is Hitler's Pope. Hitler's Pope. And then it will teach you about the cardinals that worked under Pope Pius. It will give you the way he worked his way up through the church and some of the corruption that existed that's documented. And you want to know about how the Vatican worked with Germany, that book, Pope Pius XI. And I guess I could look it up. Okay, Pope Pius XI, Sovereign State of the Vatican. Okay, okay, let's just look it up right here, and then I'll look up the name of the book. I'll get you the link for the book. Okay, so Pope Pius XI, Italian, born Ambrogio Domini Argerati, Italian, 1857 to 1939, head of the Catholic Church from February 1922 to 1939. His papacy ended in 1939, but he did work with Hitler all throughout time. So all throughout his legacy. Let's look up Hitler's Pope. So I'll look up the Hitler's Pope, and I'll give you the link. Got a little bit off topic, but okay. So it's a book by John Cornwell. One of the best books I ever read. One of the best books I ever read. The Secret Society, Hitler's Pope Pius the 12th, book of the 12th. Okay, let's see what that says. Okay, maybe it talked about Pope Pius the 11th. I haven't read the book in a long time, but I thought it was Hitler's Pope was about Pope Pius the 11th. But okay, so here we go. Hitler's Pope Pius the 12th. So my mistake, but I remember reading about Pope Pius the 11th in this book. Okay, so my mistake. My mom bought this book for me because she knew I was into studying history and religion. And this thing came out, I don't know. But anyway, I'll give you the link here. And that was one of the best reads. That gives you more information as to what went on behind the scenes than you ever could imagine. All righty. So I'm back. Tubular Vids. All right. So I'm gonna put that link down, and I'm gonna put it down 3 times. I do believe it. I don't know why I keep thinking Pope Pius the 11th, but there was something about that name that just made me think like that. So we have some people here that have been called fence jumpers. Jack Thompson is one of those people. Jack Thompson, you want to know how little small-minded people try to hurt other people? One of them is to create friction and or hatred and or anger between 2 people, causing grief and strife between 2 friends, and then the end goal is to with one of the people that are pissed off at the other person, or both of those people secretly, to learn little bits of knowledge about the third party. That is a very deceptive and deceitful, cunning, sly. And whenever you hear somebody say in their live stream, "I'm a sneaky bastard," rest assured, he's telling you the truth. So that's what someone tried to do, Jack Thompson and I, by calling Jack Thompson a fence jumper. So we see other fence jumpers here today too. But I don't care that you jumped the fence. I don't care if you like the other person's channel 5 times more than me. I don't care that you super chat the other person. I don't care about any of that. I only care about 2 things. 1, you don't abuse the people on my panel. And 2, you don't mention anybody's channel or name. That's the only 2 requirements I have. If you don't like Chi Corsair's channel and you don't like her singing, well, just join the bandwagon. I'm on your side. I think her singing is absolutely amazingly hard to hear. In fact, whenever I'm on a live stream and she starts singing, I go, "Oh my God, she's singing, I have to go." I won't listen to that. But from a comedic point of view, you have to wonder, does she sing like that to disrupt people's eardrums from society or from reality? I mean, is she trying to get your vertigo to fall down or something like that? It could be, certain frequencies, certain sounds will knock you down. I mean, maybe she's just moving into opera where she's trying to break glass or something. I don't know. I mean, but if you say anything bad about Chi Corsairs. Her singing leaves a lot to be desired, but I'm not gonna allow you to say anything bad about her or her channel. That she doesn't deserve. But on the singing, that could be questionable. She might be studying how to break glass, and maybe just to disrupt people's vertigo. Maybe she's just working on frequencies like the Navy worked with SEALs and killer whales and stuff. Maybe she's just working on different frequencies. She's just trying to figure out how to make you people super chat her. Maybe there's a frequency that she sings. Now, if she added to her songs and said, look, I'm going to sing now, and when you get tired of hearing me sing, you send me super chat. She'd make a lot more money than just saying shout out. She would make a fortune. She would make a fortune if she says, I'll sending me super chat. I think I'll sing now, just for the heck of it. All right, so let me get back up to the Canoy in the Philippines. Canoy says, I only super chat people who wear clothes and have big nuts. So let me give you a live demonstration. Not knowing what Canoy super chat is for yet, because I haven't gone to the super chat itself, but not knowing what that 5 Canadian is for, I'm going to give you a live fire. We'll call it live fire. Okay, I'm going to give you live fire on what the proper way to scratch one's big nuts are. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stand up on my box. So first thing I'm going to do is show you that I have a box. I sit on a wooden box, and that keeps my back straight and strong. I don't sit on some wimpy, sissy-ass cushion and then cry that my back has problems because I sat on some wimpy, sissy-ass cushion. I sit on a wooden box. I sleep on a piece of plywood. I wake up in the morning from sound asleep. I sleep like a Filipino on a piece of plywood where they sleep on bamboo. Doesn't bother me at all. But I will tell you, when I first moved there, I couldn't sleep on a piece of plywood. I could crash or fall asleep on a piece of plywood. Now, I can lay down on a piece of... let's go. I'm going to show you my box, and then I'm going to show you how to scratch your nuts like a man, okay? There's the difference between scratching your nuts like a girl or a little boy. Yeah, this is my box, okay? This is the box I sit on. It's got a handle. It's mobile. It's empty. It's light, and you could use it for storage. So I'm going to stand on my box right now, and I'm going to give you a live fire exercise on how to scratch your nuts, okay? Now, you won't believe this, but there is a way to scratch your nuts where it doesn't look like you pull taffy. There's two different things. Scratching your nuts, pulling your taffy. Two different things. I can only show you the first thing. The other thing I can't show you. So scratching your nuts is different than pulling your taffy. So let me get up here on my box. We'll call it my soapbox. Okay. All right, right here. Okay, let me get my pants up properly here. Okay. Now, here is my lower torso, right? And here, right here, are my nuts. Okay, here's my nuts, right here. Now, when you scratch your nuts, let's say you've been sitting down for a long time and your nuts, they're together. You can pull your nuts apart a little bit like that. Not too far, though. That's something you could do. Now, if you want to scratch your nuts, you just go like 3 scratches. 1, 2, 3. Now, you can scratch the side of your nuts and get them. We call it an adjustment. When you get in a suit or from a high class clothier, they will move your nuts left or right, because they will ask you, do you wear your nuts to the left or to the right? Well, they won't say that. They'll say, how do you wear your pants, sir? So typically, most people will have a choice to put they wear their pants to the left, it's called, or to the right. Okay. So most people will want to push the boys over to one side or the other. But that's just how you wear your pants. But scratching the boys or adjusting, you have an adjustment for the boys. You can adjust them from the bottom. Okay, and if you got big boys, you could use two hands like this. You adjust the boys. Okay. Now if your boys are together and you just need a little scratch, this is scratching like this. This is a scratching of the nuts. Anything more than 3 scratches, right? You're talking to another man and he scratches his nuts like this. That's the proper way to scratch your nuts in public. Everybody know this. Everybody know this. Everybody. All men know this. But if he starts gobbling the goop down there and while he's talking to another man or talking about another man's sphincter, well, that's playing with your taffy. That's pulling your taffy. That's a different thing than scratching your nuts. Now, the one thing that you should know is that scratching your nuts in public is a very serious thing. The etiquette of scratching your nuts in public is 3 scratches or a tuft from the bottom. Anything more than 3 scratches. Now you can even go 3 for the right, 3 for the left. Or you could do 3 from either side, but just one time. Anything more than 3 scratches, especially while you're one-on-one with another man, they're going to think something's wrong with you. Most times. Now, if they don't notice, and every man notices when another man is scratching his nuts, I got to tell you, there's things in life that you could miss or overlook, and there's things in life. Now, if they're scratching and they're looking at you and they start smiling, well, now you got a problem. Now you have an admirer. That we will call that an admirer. Now, what you do with that admirer, that's up to you. Typically, there are people like that, and you just have to deal with it. And you could just say right out, I'm not like that. And they know what you mean because you know what they mean. Because anybody that spends more than 1.2 seconds, 0.4 seconds down there scratching the boys, I don't know. You got to wonder about that. There's some sort of, and then if they're talking about a sphincter muscle, if they're talking about like Big E or myself or another man, whilst what they claim is scratching the nuts, but really what I think was pulling the taffy. If they're talking about Big E and pulling the taffy, I mean, it's not calculus, okay? It's not rocket science. It's pretty simple. There are deep-seated, things going on. Maybe just lost track of time and went from the 1.2 to 1.3 second rule, which is acceptable, to the 45 or 50 second. But inside, there are fantasies going on inside there. Reality ceased to exist for a minute or so. It happens. I mean, sometimes when I was walking around when I was younger, my mind would wander. But I will tell you this. When I went to the discotheques and the clubs and stuff like that, I was not, some of my friends would scratch the boys and talk to the women at the same time. It was a way to find out if they were interested in scratching the boys for themselves. That was one of the ways that it was a pickup line. But me, I was a little bit more subtle. I would ask them if they wanted a massage. I would ask them if, well, I'm not going to give away all my secrets. Some of them still work. So that is something you can take to the bank. So if you're standing in front of another man and he gives the boys a little scratch on the bottom or the side, takes the boys, scratches them, watch this, 1, 2, 3. About 1.2 seconds. That's the 1.2 second scratch your nut rule. Try to look someplace else. Make like you're looking at a car, a dog, or a boat, or a ship, or anything. Just look at the clouds. Scratch your nuts while you're looking at the cloud. Don't look at another man while you're scratching your nuts. Stop the conversation and stop talking about sphincter muscles when you're scratching your nuts. That's almost a dead giveaway that there's something else going on there. Okay, so now we have nut scratching 101 done. Nut scratching 101 done. Now let's go back to the tubular vids. You was right, bro. You was right. That is why I stay checking in time too. I'm always right, tubular vids. I remember you made a comment last week. Balls deep. The Pepper Challenge too. Balls deep. A Vin Diesel. I'm going balls deep on machine learning. I'm going to teach the people of YouTube from my crazy perspective. I'm going to teach them what machine learning is, whether or not it should happen, what the machine should be allowed and should not be allowed to learn, not from my perspective, but from the leaders of Google, Apple, and Samsung, those big corporations. They all have their representatives at these meetings. What should the machine see? You could teach a machine. I'll give you another piece of information about machine learning. If you just show a machine that knows how to read for an inconsistent welding pattern, okay, with a certain camera lens on it, okay, read whether or not there was the proper heat and the bead was at the proper angle, and it will read that and the data will come out of the machine. But if you take that same machine and show it an x-ray of a broken bone, well, it won't know what a broken bone is. But they're teaching machines how to read certain cancer cells. So if you turn that welding video cam machine around and show it an x-ray from a cancer patient, it won't know what that is. But if you find enough information, it will determine that it is a carcinogenic cell, a cancerous cell. Now, will it be able to know which cell it is? No, but if you feed in more information, it will give you the probability of whether or not that cell is a certain cell. The final analysis is usually made by humans. But the first time you show the machine that cell, it has no idea what the heck it is. It just won't answer your question. But after you give it enough information, it'll be able to give you probabilities as to what kind of cell it's looking at. That's machine learning. When a car has automatic parking in it, and my friend had a Lincoln model car that he said parked the car, and it did. It parked the car between two other cars perfectly, but it didn't. It only left 6 inches of door space to open up the door. So he just drove out of the spot. So that machine program in his car wasn't working right. It should have looked, and he even said park the car in a parking lot, and it picked out that spot. He didn't pick out the spot. So if he calls up the factory and says to the factory, the thing parked between two cars and only left 6 inches of space, well, they can take their Wi-Fi and correct. They can correct the issue in the. They can correct the issue in the software, and then they can send out an update to update the computer in the car. Apparently, that was a new software program, because one of my brothers has a car that if you do the same thing, it'll pick out a spot big enough to open both doors. It won't pick out a spot unless you put the car in front of a spot and put it in neutral and say park the car. But if you give it an option to park the car, it'll pick out the perfect spot. Now, you might want to pick out a spot that will let both people out of the driver's side or both people out of the passenger side. You park it your way. But machine learning is eventually the machine from data being put into it's going to know that it wants 20 inches of room on either side of the door. Well, let's go back to the super chat. Remember, the motto of our church is Jesus loves you. 3 things. It is better for you to give and for me to receive than opposite that. And super chat. Salvation is just a super chat away in the Church of Christians Plus. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Amen. Brothers and sisters, Sister Block. The huevo solo. Well, the huevo solo. Now, I don't know a lot of Spanish, but I know what that means. That's Spanish for one boy. Canoe in the Philippines only super chats people who wear clothes and have big nuts. And that's why I put on the proper methodology, how to scratch your nuts in public. Where to scratch them, how to scratch them, how long to scratch them. I don't care about that guy. Okay. I don't care about that guy. That guy is like the most insignificant thing in the world to me. And not only that, but I know that you go to his channel and you just broke one of my cardinal rules that I told you not to do. So what we're going to do to Nakey Dave is we are going to shit can you right now. So somebody go to Nakey Dave's channel and shit can Nakey Dave. Thank you very much. Okay. I asked you, and you know the rules, and you did that on purpose. So now you are shit can, and you are not coming back, Nakey Dave. After my show, you are not coming back on my show ever. Now, Big E is a little bit more tolerant of, morons like yourself, but I have no tolerance for you. I refuse to allow people to say, I didn't know, or I wasn't sure. You knew damn well I told you don't do it, and you did it anyway. So you are now shit can for life. Go start another channel. Sex Pat Hunter, you're another piece of human, walking, talking. Can't think of a good word, so I won't say a shit cat. Pat Hunter. First of all, I don't like your name. Second of all, I don't like your name. And third of all, I don't like you. Okay? Shit can Sex Pat Hunter. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, Sex Pat Hunter. Warren H is in the house, baby. Everything is good. Oh, my friend. Canoe, sorry I read your message wrong. Everybody's going to be saying hello to Warren H, and I want everybody to say hello to Warren H. Share the love. Warren, I had such a night. Warren H is in the house. What can I say? Warren, these boys, I just gave a 5-minute dissertation on how to scratch one's nuts in public. But I already know the man that you are. You know about the 1.2 to 1.3 second rule. Never scratch your nuts in public for more than 1.2 seconds when you're talking to another man. And if you have to, look the other way and scratch your nuts. But the 1.2 second rule, Warren, as a man, knows as a man. Just everybody know this. Every man know this. The Laffy Taffy pull of Jack Thompson. That's right, baby. If you have your hand on your nuts, on those boys, and you think that everybody's going to believe that you were just scratching like this. This is a scratch. This is a scratch. Like that. 1, 2, 3. Less than a second. That's a scratch. Let me show you what pulling your taffy looks like. Pulling your taffy would be like going scuba diving and having the snorkel in your hand and consistently rubbing back and forth, rubbing back and forth, rubbing back and forth. That would be a joint to pulling your taffy. You can't make a mistake between, look at this, watch, look at my fingers. See the way my fingers are situated on the snorkel? If you're holding the taffy and you're rubbing the taffy, then you're pulling your taffy. Okay, let there be no doubt. Even with these big, oversized, stupid yellow sunglasses, if you were sitting next to me holding your taffy and massaging your taffy, I would think you were pulling your taffy. Don't make any mistake about it. Scratching the boys for 1.2 seconds and massaging the taffy is pulling the taffy. Those are two different things. So what can I say? If someone gets them confused, just remember where the confusion came from. I'll show you again. This is scratching your nuts. Watch. 1.2 second rule. I'm talking to another man. Let's say I'm talking to Warren Hunt, right? And him and I are talking, and I got dungarees on, and my boys are a little bit, malaligned, right? So I grab the boys and I pull them over here like that, or I push them over here like that. Number one, that's the 1 second rule. Well, let's say the boys need to be scratched. Here's how you scratch your boys. You're looking at the other man. You don't have to take your eyes off him. Not if it's just the 1.2 second. You could go like this. I'm scratching my nuts. 1, 2, 3. Done. Now, let's say your nuts need further scratching. What you do is you turn to the side, then you look over there, or you look at the sky, and then you could scratch the boys for 2 or 3 seconds. But you want to get back to the other guy's face and let him know that you were not scratching your nuts with him in mind. But if you're scratching your nuts and talking about men, and more specifically sphinxes, and you're scratching your nuts, that could be problematic, explaining that. And as Warren H. knows, Warren and I have been abused enough to make people aware that there are people that abuse Warren and I and call Scott Del Fuego glorified geniuses, call Jack Thompson fools for sending us money. Now we have some idiot demeaning Canoy in the Philippines because he sent me super chat and a lot of super chat too today. I don't keep track per se, but Canoy in the Philippines, I know for a fact today super chatted me more money than most people that pull their taffy in public, making Turkish taffy. Let's say there was somebody that was making, and that goes back to the title of the show. What goes on behind the Iron Curtain? And now we know why the Iron Curtain exists, to hide certain characteristical traits of certain. Now, if a man wants to make Turkish taffy while he's doing live streaming, that's none of my business. None of my business. None of my business. Like some men always say, none of my business what anybody does with my money. Or it's none of your business what I do with my money. But it's my business to know everything you do about your money. But getting back to the Iron Curtain, let's say a man on a regular basis puts an Iron Curtain over his camera. Well, we don't know. My opinion about why the Iron Curtain existed was just because, I heard stories about unshaven faces and disheveled hair and stuff like that, and I believe that. I'm very gullible. Lord knows I would have never come to the conclusion that somebody was making Turkish taffy behind the Iron Curtain. I'd have never done that. My mind doesn't go into places like now it does, because now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it. I can't unsee it. And had it been me, already 25 short videos would have been made by different vloggers. But it wasn't me, because I make sure I wear my pants and I don't scratch the boys unless I'm teaching people how to scratch the boys in public. Okay, so I got my bases covered, baby. That's right. No Bakaku. Scott Del Fuego is back. The Spear of Destiny. That is the book where the tip of the cross of Christ supposedly still exists. The spear that made the wounds in Christ's torso. I read that, but that was probably 15 years ago, so I don't really remember. There's also a movie, The Spear of Destiny, where the Spanish man finds the Spear of Destiny under the floorboards of the church. So I've done both. What is the question, Pedro? Funny that you have a Spanish name, and that's the Spanish junk or looking for something to eat or food or coins, and he finds a loose floorboard under the church, and he finds the Spear of Destiny, and he runs out into the street and gets hit by a 1970 Monte Carlo or something like that, and the car wraps around him. Yeah, I read that book. It was better in the book form than the movie. Laffy Taffy Polo, Jack Thompson. How the hell does he breathe out of that tiny snorkel? Jack Thompson, questions that only God, the Lord God, could answer. How does he get enough air? If you'll notice, my septum is clogged up today from a video that my Patreon members will get at the $20 or above level. It just finished posting this morning. I painted a bunch of stuff with oil-based paint. My God, it stuffed me up. Warren H., all good, sir. Canoy is saying hello to Warren H. Scott Del Fuego. Warren, can you get on Skype right now? I will put you on Skype. Scott Del Fuego. Uno pelota la chacala truth. Huevo solo. I know that means one, boy. It means one. Solo means one in any language. Huevo solo la paguda enjoyda. And enojada. Oh, boy. Scott Del Fuego says if that's his taffy, it must be penny candy. And oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was an oh my. I watched that live, by the way. I was making what the heck was I making? Squid. Frying some squid crackers and listening to that in the background. And I turned around without my glasses on. I turned around. I'm going, what the hell is that white thing? I couldn't figure out what that white thing was. I mean, and then it was moving. I thought at first maybe it's a worm because it was white as white gets. And it was moving just back and forth, wiggling back and forth. And I thought maybe it was one of those, like a giant one of those worms that live under the ocean, one of those kind of worms. Turned out I wasn't so far off. Not the giant worms from under the ocean, but worm. And can Warren get on? Anyway, I'm looking and I'm going, what the? And I put my glasses on and I still can't see what the heck it is on the screen. I just didn't interpret here's the way your brain works. If the same way machine learning works. If you've never seen something before, ever, I've never seen such white legs, number one. I mean, how do you get such white legs? But then the other thing that was going on, I've never seen that happen on the internet before. I've never watched a movie or a clip where somebody was doing that. I mean, that was new to me. So my brain didn't process the information. Plus, I really wasn't paying attention to what was going on until I saw the multiple colored, I would have to say, bloomers. Bloomers would be a good, until I saw the multiple colored bloomers, I had no idea what was going on. And then I'm going, oh my God. Oh my God. And I can't unsee that. And everywhere, all over the internet, everybody's saying that they're going from watching that video. I watched it. I watched it on the Texas dating channel. I watched it over there, and I watched it, and then I saw Canoy's comment over there, and I saw everybody's comments over there. I watched it. I can't unsee it. I can't unsee it. All I could do is think about how many videos would have been posted about Michael Fazio and his church. Look at the pastor. Look at the pastor rub one off. Look at the pastor making taffy. Look at the pastor playing with his putty. What? Look, this is the good Christian man. Look at this guy. This is the kind of guy you want to give money to. He's playing with his such and such and his so and so. There'd be 100 videos pumped out. Maybe they'd be 1 minute videos, but there'd be 100 videos before the end of the week. But yet, I hear stories that he was just scratching his nuts. I was just scratching my nuts. That is not scratching one's nuts. I showed you how to scratch your nuts. If you forgot, if somebody needs me to repost or take these boys and show you how to scratch your nuts in public, I will go back on Libre. No chat, no charge. I will show you how men scratch their nuts. Just ask, and ye shall receive, saith the Lord through Michael Fazio. Yeah, Jack, that's true. That's where there was a set of white boys like that. A lot of people were commenting on the color. Like, some people thought they were from the movie Powder. Remember that movie Powder, how white that guy was? Well, some people, I thought that was like that. And after I saw the thing wiggling around, when it was wiggling the thing around, I'm going to myself, wait a second. Who is this, right? First, I'm going, who is this? Because there's no way of knowing who that is. But then later on, he gives up the ghost. An amazing thing. An amazing comeback. I was just scratching my nuts. If that turns you on, then so be it. I'm glad I could help. Yeah, this live stream. I'm gonna end this now. We're into this for about 3 hours on these two live streams. I didn't say everything I wanted to say about small hands and small feet mean. All right. So small hands and small feet means small super chats. Everybody know this. Clint Eastwood's next movie has been titled already. Just last night, Clint Eastwood was watching YouTube. The name of Clint Eastwood's next movie is going to be Hang 'em Small. Now, as the title admits, we all know what goes on behind the Iron Curtain. And an axiom that you have to remember when you are pulling taffy behind the Iron Curtain, let not your left hand know what your right hand is doing. I don't know why, but it makes sense. Now, You're out with the boys, and you're at a bar. You're at a regular bar, and at the bar, one of your friends says to you, "How you doing?" And you say, "I'm doing all right." And your friend said, "What'd you do all day?" You said, "No, I was just home pulling my putty." All day? All day. And anything else? Yeah, I was making videos. So basically, you were doing something. You was home making taffy, making videos. That's an old expression. What'd you do all day? Didn't do nothing. You pulling taffy all day, really? Well, it was raining out. Well, we were locked in the house. What do you expect me to do? Well, I expect you to get assistance at least. One more thing I want to tell you. Now, this is no joke. All right, so I'm going to go back to my live stream, see if I'm still live. Wait, Tanner, you got to hear this. You got to hear this. All right, so about a while ago, a man said, Fazio, he said the name Fazio, couldn't get his dick up with a crane. Right? So I ran across that commentary in Verbiage. I ran across that yesterday when I was just dicking around on the internet. No pun intended. So I ran across this Verbiage yesterday. Fazio, using the name Fazio couldn't get his dick up with a crane. So last night, before I went to bed, I was looking and I was thinking, is that true? Is that true? Because I used to own a crane, that's how I would move the bad boy around. So last night, I'm sitting down and I stand up like this. I stand up and I reach down with two hands. Thank you, Jesus. I reach down with two hands and I grab that bad boy and I start to pick it up. Wouldn't you know it? He was right. That bad boy, I twisted my back. I'm not going to be able to walk straight for a couple of days. Last night, I couldn't even sleep. I was up half the night popping 80 milligram aspirins. That bad boy. Now, that's me trying to pick it up. But there is the 17-second elevator. 17 seconds. 17 seconds. You can ask around. Just take my word. 17 seconds. And the elevator goes right to the top. No crane, no two hands. Auto. On autopilot. All it has to do is smell a little funkiness, and that bad boy is moving. Moving on the move. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your gifts, for the humor, and thank you for my wrenches. You know what? Wait, Tanner, I should give you a wrench. What the heck is going wrong? I apologize. Hold on. Let me make that happen. I never thought about that before. And I trust you implicitly, Conway. Thank you. Not Big E, Chi, everybody loves you. There's not a malicious bone in your body. I could tell you that you remind me of Dennis Adam. You're welcome. You remind me of Dennis Adam because Dennis Adam was a true YouTube creator, number one. Number two, he didn't even want a wrench. I gave him a wrench. Then he didn't want the responsibility of a wrench. Do you know how many wrenches I hold on other people's channel? 0. You know how many people's channels I want to be wrenches on? 0. I don't want a wrench, and I'm like Dennis Adam. But there are times where you need people to be wrenches when they mention other people's channel. That guy, Naked Dave, I saw him. I told him, I saw you on the channel. You want to come to my channel? Okay, don't do certain things. He did it. Why did he come to my channel? Why? Because he thinks that's funny, or he did it on purpose to get me upset, or he did it on purpose because he thinks he can, and he can, and he did, but he won't do it again under that name. And I don't care that he goes to other people's channel. Why did he have to come to my channel? Just to disrupt the live stream, because he's no better than a piece of pulled taffy. You know, after you pull the taffy and the pieces fall on the floor, that's what Naked Dave and the other guy are. Overspray from a taffy pulling machine. Thank you. All righty then. Let me go back to my axioms of behind the Iron Curtain. So when I went to pick up I was told I couldn't get my dick up with a crane. But when I went to try it and it didn't work and I twisted my back, the only thing I got to say about that, at least I didn't go blind trying it over and over and over. Because there are people now, I believe, what they are doing behind the Iron Curtain is the possibility exists that they're going blind. You just don't know it. You remember, you know what I'm talking about. Going blind, you can go blind from making Turkish taffy. If you sit home all day behind an Iron Curtain making Turkish taffy, the possibility exists that you could go blind. And now we know what goes on behind the Iron Curtain. All right, back to my notes. Don't give money to scammers. Don't give money to charlatans. Don't give money to shysters. Give money who gives a good show. And they got their wish, and now they're crying that they don't get super chat. They don't get any super chat because they prayed to God indirectly. Don't give money to scammers. Don't give money to charlatans. Don't give money to e-beggars. Only give money to the good shows. And they gave me a lot of money last week and a lot of money this week. So the man's prayers came true. And not only that, the biggest and most important part of the prayer, don't give money to scammers. Don't give money to people that aren't putting on an honest show. He got his wish. So, therefore, Jesus said on Easter, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. And on a serious note, for those of you who pray, and I believe in the power of positive thought, it wouldn't hurt if you pray Warren. It wouldn't hurt at all. Warren, I saw over medicated yesterday. I held back the tears from talking to Warren. I had to start talking about something else, but it was so sad. Warren his ability to comprehend was accurate, but the amount of drugs that Warren was on yesterday was just, I've seen people like that, and it was really sad. So if a praying person, forget about this Easter, none of the time frame for God, Easter, Jesus, the church, the resurrection, none of it is even anywhere close to the original days, if it happened, and some of it did and some of it didn't. But if you're a praying person, Warren could use your prayers. All right. I'm going to go. Bye-bye for now. Big E. Big E. All right. Big E has to say. Give money to Ken Roy. All right. Ken Roy, do a live stream. We'll get you some cash. Maybe we could get a taffy machine going in your direction. Not the end result, not the taffy spray. Biggie says he can dole it out, but he can dole it out for taffy machines. Ah, he can dole it out, but he has trouble taking it. Got to tell you, it's always a one-way street with the Taffy Machine Corporation. Now that Biggie, I don't know how long you've been here, but now we know what goes on behind the Iron Curtain. I saw it, I can't unsee it, and now my mind never went to the fact that there was taffy being made 24/7 when the Iron Curtain was up. But now, every time I see the Iron Curtain, I'm going to think of a man and his taffy machine. That's what I'm not going to think of anything else. I'm not. My mind on the Texas dating channel, I saw the comments. There are people going blind from seeing that. There are people going blind, literally. We are all taking our beach trip. My gosh, I wanted to donate a machine. If we could get a taffy making machine, that would be wonderful. Even they must have miniature taffy making machines. You would have access to that for considering what you do for a living. A small, like a one-man taffy machine, nothing big like they see in the taffy making, and like there got to be something really small like that pulls taffy. Well, there is. It's called a hand. You pull the taffy with your hand like that. Hand taffy. Hand taffy. I'm surprised I didn't think of it sooner. I was there the whole time too, but I didn't know what was going on. I'm going, what the hell is that thing on the TV on the thing? I'm going, I never seen anything. Then I thought it was like a worm. At first, I thought it was a worm, and then later on, when I seen the multicolored, I don't know, they look like bloomers. It didn't look like I don't know. I wear Fruit of the Looms white. Okay, if I'm going to wear underwear, I'm going to wear man's underwear. I'm not going to wear some. I don't know if they were even man's underwear. I don't know. I can't say because I wasn't there, but I'm going to wear something manly. My father wore boxers. I tried boxers a couple of times, but they bunch up around the boys. So, everybody has their own. But Fruit of the Looms underwear say that they interfere with the sperm count. So you thought somebody was getting ready to bait a hook with a worm? Okay, yeah, I could be. I could see that. Biggie's saying after he saw that he was looking for a seeing eye dog. He got fitted for a seeing eye dog. That's pretty sarcastic, Biggie, but humorous. Could Biggie, yeah. Now there was stories going around about you while the taffy machine was in full on mode, So you were being abused, and more specifically, the taffy machine was running full speed ahead whilst he was talking about your sphincter muscle. That's what was happening. The taffy machine was running full on whilst he was talking about Big E's sphincter. Now, I didn't want to mention that, and I probably will only mention it a few hundred times, and then, like water under the bridge, water down a duck's back. I'll forget about it. 2 or 3 years from now, I'll probably never mention it again. Probably just gone, like it never happened. But until then, I might throw it up at some inopportune time. That's right. Big E just remembers. Yeah, you should go back and look at it. Everybody got a copy of that bad boy. Everybody got a. In fact, There are people that shouldn't have copies that got copies that sent me copies. I'm going, why would you send me a copy of this shit? I don't want it. This is like I don't watch porn, but there are people with a lot of. There are people just proud as the ace of spades, baby. They are proud that this. Look at this. Look what we got here behind the Iron Curtain. Yeah, baby. Let's see him go around abusing me now. Big E is going to have an endless amount of fun with this. Big E says, I told you, men who are obsessed. You did. I know where you're going. Big E, and this is the truth. Okay, this is serious stuff. Big E made a live stream 2 weeks ago about men who talk with other men's body and body parts and are obsessed with other men think a certain way. He made it clear as day what he thought about men who talk about other men's body parts. And based on the Texas Dating Channel video that's up, Big E was right. So Big E says, I told you, men who are obsessed with other men's bodies and baiting the hook must mean one thing. Maybe they too are happy gay people. That's one way of putting it. Very happy, very, very happy, I'm very happy, 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 happy Biggie. He was happy when he was talking about Biggie. He was happy when he was talking about Biggie. He was happy, 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 happy. Look, there's Biggie. Let me make some taffy. I'm very happy. Let me make some taffy. I'm very happy. Look at Biggie. I'm very happy. I see Biggie. Let me make some taffy. Let me make some taffy, 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 taffy. Let me make some taffy. I see Biggie. Let me get the taffy machine going. And it going. And it going. And going, and going. I see taffy. I see taffy. The taffy machine. And Biggie. Biggie. I got news for you. I have a video I found the other day about someone, and I won't mention any names, stated quite clearly Fazio and Warren Hunt, are gay for one another. And adding to the conversation in the video, which is video, he said that I, Michael Fazio, he said this, I, Michael Fazio, gave Warren H. a particular form or code of STD. And how did Michael give Warren this STD? Well, Michael apparently licked Warren H's anus and transmitted the disease from my tongue into Warren's anus. That's the truth. That's the truth. I heard that. So you are correct. There are some people that are overly fixated on sphincter muscles. Now, I will have to add the caveat that unfortunately, I never met Warren H. or haven't met him yet. And I never licked. I'm not even going there. It doesn't deserve to be said. I never did anything like that. Okay, so Biggie says our little massager is obsessed with sphincter muscles, aka King Glory holes. Well, anyone can ask themselves how many other men do this that they ever knew. So far, only 1 in 50 years. Okay, so Biggie, I didn't know, is approximately 50 years old, and he said that only in those 50 years, he only knows. Oh, I know where you're going with this. This is Biggie's video. Let's give Biggie. I gave you. There is no amount of kudos I could give Biggie for his intelligence. So Biggie said this in a live stream. How many men? And he asked me personally over the phone, not Skype, but the phone. How many men do I know that are obsessed with talking about other people's sphincter muscles and or appendages or things like that? How many men do I know that talk about that topic every day in videos and uploads? And I said, I don't know any. I mean, if you watch even the most egregious videos on YouTube, except for that guy from Switzerland, he says shit like that. He is on par with that guy. So I guess it would be two people that I know in 64 years. So, but he doesn't make a video. He doesn't make 5 videos a day. So he only comes on occasionally. So I guess it would be one. So how many people do I know that talk about sphincter muscles and sucking men's appendages and having things like gerbils placed into their rectums and things like that? I only know one person. I only know one person. So one. The answer is one. I only know one person that talks like that. Even the guy from Switzerland who talks like that only does so once every few weeks. But there's only one man on YouTube. Just one. You're number one, baby. You have arrived. You have arrived. You have made the grade, as the Beatles said. Yep. So Biggie, he did call that fact out, and you happen to be right. What goes on behind the Iron Curtain? What goes on behind the Iron Curtain? What the heck is going on behind the Iron Curtain? We may have never known, but now we know. And how many of us that know wish we didn't know? How many of us right now, like Biggie, are out looking for seeing eye dogs? How many? Probably most men are out there searching the internet how to unsee certain things. What is it that would prevent you from focusing? You know that I think if you focus on, you know what? When I was in Michigan, they called it what the heck did they call it? Fudges, Fudgies, Fudges, Fudgies. So Michigan is a big milk producing farming dairy state. Not the biggest. Florida is much bigger, but they make fudge in Michigan. I don't know why, but in Traverse City there was the chocolate shop, and the first thing anybody does is buy fudge when they get there, and the last thing they do before they leave Traverse City is buy fudge to take home. But there was a place I went to, and I forgot, where they make Turkish taffy. Okay. When I remember watching those guys they put the taffy in the machine and they would turn the other way like that. Now I know why they was turning around the other way. Watching Turkish taffy being made will make you go blind. It'll make you blind. And now I know why they wasn't looking at the machine that they put the taffy in. Then eventually the taffy comes out, and after it's all flat and everything and dried, it's okay. But while the taffy is being made, you could go blind, and that's what happened. Half the damn internet went blind yesterday. I mean, this video is playing everywhere. I mean, who Who hasn't? I will not play it. I'm magnanimous like that. I will not. Far be it from me to mention it more than 200 or 300 times, and I'm done with it. Any topic. Amyl nitrate. Oh my God, I remember that shit back in the 80s. Oh God. I was with a Jewish girl. Her last name was Zen, Zen. The father's name was Harvey Zen. He was my dad's friend. They were in the paratroopers together. And the girl's name was Holly, Holly, Holly Zen. And I had an apartment in the beach, and I had my boat in the back of the house. And I said to her, it was a holiday. Harvey's and Millie, his wife's name was Millie. Harvey and Millie used to come over to my dad's house, and we would go over there. They lived on 93rd Street in Jackson Heights. That's the street I was brought when I was brought home from the hospital. So Harvey and Millie would come over to the house, but they had a daughter named Holly, and she couldn't have been much older than maybe 18 or 19, and I was 21 because I had my apartment already. And I said to her, do you want to go hang out at my apartment? Because it was just me and her, and there was like 6 adults. And she said, yeah, all right. So we went over to my apartment. We took a boat ride, and because I had the boat I built, I had the boat right behind the house. And she goes, here, smell this. And it looked like a little brown bottle. And I smelled it, and oh God, I was monkeyed up. I thought she was trying to kill me. I had no idea. I was like that. And a few minutes later, I said, what the hell was that? She goes, amyl nitrate. And I never heard of it before that. And I never did it after that either. I never did it, actually. She just goes, here, smell this. She thought it was funny. She liked that stuff. Man, that stuff puts you in a catatonic state of consciousness. So, yeah, that was what I remember that. And I was 21, now I'm 64. So that was 43 years ago. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I was like this. I couldn't even move. That girl could have robbed my house or molested me. I wouldn't even have known. But that happened a few minutes later. She was a good girl. I miss her. I dated that girl. Oh, I probably dated her for 6 or 7 years. I know when I stopped dating her. It was 1977 when I started dating Holly. And I moved into my first apartment on the other side of the beach in 80. I moved into my second apartment in 81. And my Uncle Richie, who lived in Jackson Heights, used to come and visit me until the mid-80s. So I guess I dated her for 8 years. And Richie would come and say, Michael, she's getting married. And I said, what? Are you serious? And he said, yeah, she's getting married. So I stopped seeing her. But I thought he was kidding. I liked her a lot. I didn't want to marry her, but I liked her a lot. She used to cut my hair, so I'd see her twice a month. See her, and I liked her a lot. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that, if you're not subscribed to Big E's channel and you watch live stream and it's brought you any pleasure, thank you. And remember, Jesus loves you in this time of the year. Remember the axioms, the 3 axioms of the Church of Christians Plus. It is better for you to give and for me to receive than vice versa. Axiom number 1. Axiom number 2, Jesus loves you. Jesus loves those who give. And axiom number 3, super chat, super chat, super chat. Your salvation and path to heaven is only a super chat away. Thank you. Wait. I should read the comments from the other live stream. That I forgot all about that. Wait, don't go away. I want to read the comments. I want to get to the comments on the other live stream. Hold on. The other live stream chat. And then we're down one more page here. Jack says, Scott is climbing the stairway to heaven. Canoy says, awesome. John Escape says, yes, sir. Do it, says John Escape. The throne of knowledge. No flush backup today. Yeah, we had a backup flush today. Genius, pyre, and utter genius. Genius. Salamat, Canoy. Hello, Warren H. Mr. Fazio, he's a flushing and a flushing, says the wordsmith, Scott Del Fuego. John Escapes. The tsunami fell around the world. You saw that big flush. Only get one big, the 103, flushing 103. Big E, did you see the flush I flushed before? It was a man's flush. If you didn't see it, I'll flush for you. I'll flush for Scott, for Canoy. I'll flush for John. I'll flush for anybody. If I go back to my other live stream and see that you need to see how a proper flush 103 is done, I will flush one more time for in the name of the God, in the name of Jesus, and the Easter Sunday, in the name of the resurrection of Jesus, and in the name of those 3 axioms, I will flush. It's the meme king. Jack, LOL, Pepper Challenge. Hey, Michael, have you ever heard about the CERN super? Of course, I know all about that. It's in Switzerland. They were going to make a bigger one in the United States, but they never got around to it. Jack Thompson said, I would wear a suit of armor. LOL. That tiny snorkel, says Jack Thompson. The tiny snorkel. Have no idea what that references. Not me, but what can I say? I am gay. Big E is a very gay man. And the definition of gay is happy. Everybody know this. Jack Thompson said, my boyfriend is happy. Gay. Canoy in the Philippines. No way I'm gay also. No way I'm gay also. Canoy makes it funny. Canoy is borderline wordsmithing. Nobody give poor fraud Big E a super chat also. That's right. That's right. Nobody ever super chats the Big E because you can't. Dr. Delicious. Are you talking about the Taffy Meister? Dr. Oh, no. You're talking about Big E. Okay. That's right, Big E. He says Big E tells true axioms, true bits of factoids. Big E says, since I'm gay, I might have to go back to being Catholic as a gay clergyman. Very good. Good. Scott says he's a lesbian. I know that to be a fact, Jack. I know that to be a fact. There's no doubt in my mind. A plywood submarine would be a great addition to the resort. That would be. They make plywood submarines, you know. I used to have a submarine. I sold it for $300. I can't believe it. Rock of Ages, cleft to me. Send those damn super chats to me. Jesus loves you. Remember, it is better to give me than to receive for you. And remember, heaven is only a super chat away. Rock of Ages, cleft to me. Send me super chat. Heaven is just a super chat away. Rock of Ages, cleft to me. Rock of ages, rock of ages, rock of ages, cleft to me. Heaven is only a super chat away. Rock of ages, cleft to me. Scott, I just saw that comment. I got a visual, and I just went, I'm never going to be able to, I'm never going to. Scott says, holding the baby turtle head like a cigarette, but I think that had reference to size, between two fingers and pulling it in and out of the turtle's shell. I wish I had a gym camera. I can't see. Oh my God. You guys. Axiom 4. Don't play with worms on live streams when talking about men's bodies. There you go. The 4 things you need to know to be a blogger. 1, wear your damn clothes when you're blogging. 2, the 1.2 seconds scratch your nut rule. Number 2. Number 3, never let the Iron Curtain fall off the camera. And number 4, don't play with worms while making live streams. And if you do, don't let the Iron Curtain fall off the cam. Those are the 4 axioms. Very inspiring. Thank you, everybody. Big E. Scott, Jack, or Blue Rose, if you're here. If you want me to call you, please say yes. If Warren is here, I know he's not. Remember, all kidding aside, send Warren some love in the form of prayer, in the form of sending light or love, the energy of love. He could use it. Thank you. All right, I'm going to end the stream. I'll wait about 15 seconds to see if somebody wants. Scott, if you're going to be up, I'll call you. I wanted to say hello anyway. Just let me know. If not, understand that. I do know that you're getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and coming home at 10 o'clock at night. So if I don't see an answer in a few seconds, Jack, you, on the other hand, I know that you don't have much to do. Okay. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later. All right, Big E. I'll talk to you later. Thanks, everybody. And remember the 4 axioms, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus loves you. Number 1. The 4 axioms are Jesus loves you. It's better for you to give to the Church of Christians Plus than for you to receive from the Church of Christians Plus. Axiom number 2. It is better if you're going to make taffy, make sure the Iron Curtain doesn't fall off your cam. Axiom number 3. And if you insist on making Turkish taffy on the live stream, at least put on a pair of pants. 4 great truths from Easter Sunday 2020, baby. Who loves you? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Just wait. I heard this video is going to go viral in so many ways. I heard this video is going viral. I heard they're going to start putting this video in video stores. I heard they're going to start bringing this video when people are waiting on lines in the supermarket. They're going to say, can you guess what this guy is doing? And if you guess, and only you could guess my videos, if you say he's making Turkish taffy, your groceries are free for the day, baby. Yeah, baby. Good night, everybody. Welcome to my machine. I'm Big Permy. God bless. Remember, pray for Warren. All kidding aside. If you believe in prayer, Warren could use them. Bye-bye.